All right, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but my daughter was at work today in Apple Valley, got off at 4, and she came out and her car was gone. She drives the car that I drove from 2012 until 2017, and then Mama drove it from 2017 until this year. And we sold it to her because she got a job. Now her and Mom were down there reporting it to the police. Let's go outside. Outside, good boy. Out. And they found it on video on her work's video cameras. The guy popping the door and then just blazing out of there. You know, he hit the ignition or whatever, punched ignition. So when Mom went down to pick up Julia, they saw the car at the gas station with no license plates. So this is like about I would say 5 o'clock, 5:30ish. So they follow the car as best they can, staying a few behind. Obviously the guy's going to be suspicious, and they can't cross a red light, and he keeps going. So my wife's not going to cross a red light. You know, Hesperia's nuts. People drive like idiots. Enough people run the red. It's us people that wait for the red that have to watch out to go when it's green, because so many people run the red at 50 miles an hour. So obviously she doesn't run the red, the guy gets away. So they call the cops, they get out 4 cop cars, a helicopter, they're all looking for him for hours. And I'm following my wife on a GPS program we have on our phones, and I'm watching her canvass this neighborhood looking for this car. So, oh, that's her. Let's see what's going on. What's up?
So her iPods, you know how I said or her AirPods, you know how I said he had groceries? We're thinking he walked over to the Stater Brothers down the street and came back.
Yes, that's what happened.
So the AirPods don't update like immediately.
How far away is the Staters from the house?
Like walking distance.
So that's what happened. He's using them, and like a moron, he walks the Staters, so it triggers her tracking device, and now he's home again because you saw him coming back with groceries, right?
Yeah, and we're down the street from the house, and Julia's gonna call the cops again and tell them we're at the house again.
What are they doing? It's been like an hour.
I don't know. You know, they don't have enough police officers.
Well, we're getting the car, whether they're there or not.
What?
I'm getting that car, whether the cops come or not.
Well, you can come over and then fly your drone. And
that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Into the backyard. That's all you have to do.
You may have to get a little pushy and say, look, we're doing your job. We found the house. Can you send somebody, please?
Yeah.
Jeez, so frustrating. So I'm on my way.
Okay, love you. Bye.
I pray the cops come before I get there.
Okay, bye.
Bye, I love you. Okay, so that's my wife. Well, we're gonna fast forward. They're looking for this car for 2 hours up and down all these streets. And my daughter's like, hey, I can track my earbuds. So she does, and it comes up with an address. So my wife and my daughter sit down the street, and they notice a guy leave the house and come back with groceries. Well, a few minutes later, my daughter says, hey, my earbuds just triggered over at Stater Brothers. So they went over to a Stater Brothers, and then they triggered back at the house. So the dude, because they saw him come back to the house with a bag of groceries. So we're thinking the car is in the backyard, because I looked on Google, and it's a large backyard with a large motorhome and several other junk vehicles back there with plenty of room for her car. So I'm heading over there with my drone, and she called the cops like an hour and a half ago, and I'm a police supporter. I know these guys are overworked, underpaid, and today's world, everybody hates them. I don't, but I'm a little frustrated. I mean, my wife and daughter are sitting outside the house where her car's pinging, right, her earbuds. So if you don't have any more leads than that, I don't know what to do. So I just pray they get there. So we're gonna see what happens. Here we go. All right, we're in the beautiful Bear Valley Road traffic. 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. It looks like my wife just said the police are there and we are 6 minutes away, so we'll see how this goes. All right, we're a block away and I see some lights up here. Let's see what's going on.
All right, we just got here and looks like the police officers are driving away. Me and my dad just went over to talk to my mom and my sister. I see some people out front. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm guessing I'm staying in the car because of my safety. You think the car is in the backyard? Because it's obviously not out front. I see more people driving right there. I don't know if they're cops. It's just a car. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a normal car. Yep, just a normal car. Here comes my dad.
So apparently they interviewed the people at this house, but because nobody saw the car here, they can't search. Even though my daughter's AirPods were detected at this house and we have a screenshot of it, that's not probable cause to search the house. What is this world coming to? All right, so these guys just pulled in right behind me and I put my lights on their faces. And now they got nervous and left. So I'm gonna see where they go. I've just been sitting in front of the block. I'm about 5 houses down and I'm just watching the neighborhood to see if our car leaves. But those guys in a Kia Soul, hopefully my camera got their faces. They came past me really slow, went at the end of the block and came back and parked behind me. So I flipped around and put the high beams right in their face.
And now they're getting out.
So now they're getting out of the car. Definitely some suspicious stuff going on around here.
Yeah, they were, it looks like two.
They're not in front of the house that we think the car's at.
No.
They're like a few houses down. But for them to just come and park right behind me with their high beams,
It's not.
either they're doing drugs and they didn't know I was in the car or what, but as soon as I shined the lights on their faces, they looked really surprised. And they pulled up to a house and one guy got out. All right, so it's now 10 o'clock at night and me and my daughter went down that alley and the dude that I got stuck having to back around in his merchandise-filled backyard, sketchy dude, he hopped in his truck and came bolting down the alley after we started down the alley, and we ducked into somebody's garage breezeway and he passed us and then he went home. But we got to look in the backyard and there's some cars back there, but I don't think any of them belong to us. So my daughter and I were coming back out and he came back down the road blazing a path like he was super aggro, and we ducked into the same alleyway, little breezeway thing, and then he passed us and kept going. So we came out behind him and got in my truck and we're leaving, and we're just gonna, the cops said they're gonna go back there and look in the alley late at night, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so it's a couple days later and they recovered the vehicle off the 15 and the 138 sitting on the side of the road. So here's where the dirtbag punched the lock, and then I guess he also jacked up the ignition right there. His fingerprints are all over the thing. Wonder if the cops thought about that. Yeah, there's the plates. And that's a programmer because I have it programmed. So they busted the back window. Oh, they must have hit something. because that's all broke too. Something happened here. Yep, they were doing some off-roading. And they were obviously, this was folded under, peeling on the tire. So we're gonna yank the thing up to my shop, get it all fixed up. Well, good morning everybody, it's July 1st. Just heading up to work this morning and saying hi to my neighbor there. Yeah, on the Tahoe, what a bummer, you know. Just gonna sum it up real quick. Stolen from her parking lot at work. They saw the video. Dude came out of the bushes, popped the door, hopped in there, beat up the ignition, pulled out of there. Of course, my wife and daughter saw it a few hours later when she was on her way to pick her up for work and just couldn't catch him. Cops were after him, helicopter, couldn't catch him. Not that he was on the run, he didn't know he was being followed, but he just had way too big of a head start. My wife just couldn't get around this intersection that was 8 lanes wide with tons of traffic, and the guy just sped it off into the sunset there. So here's the bummer part, and maybe I articulated it earlier, but my daughter has a screenshot of her AirPods pinging at this address in Hesperia. Police showed up, didn't do a thing. Maybe I don't know the law, but I think that if you have a screenshot of a property that you own, registered by a company, it's showing it in that house, I think that's probable cause for search and seizure. And then of course the guy with the AirPods has to know the guy who stole the car. He's one of the 4 people that was seen in that car. And probably was like, oh look, you know, they're checking out all the compartments. Oh look, here's some AirPods. I'm taking these. You know, you took the car, so you bring that guy out and you tell him he's going to jail, and unless he tells us who stole the car and where it is. But they didn't do it. It's the first time in my life I've been disappointed with law enforcement. I'm a supporter. I have good friends that have made entire careers being treated like garbage from the public. And they were good guys. And I even know a guy, if you remember, whatever his name is, the guy that came up to Big Bear, guns a-blazing, killing everybody in sight. One of my best friends ran to that guy as he was shooting at him. And his partner got shot in the face by an assault rifle. So I have a lot of respect for law enforcement. They put up with idiots every single day. They get lied to every single day. They don't get appreciated. They definitely don't get paid enough. Are there bad ones? Sure. There's bad everything everywhere. There's bad attorneys, bad baseball players, bad politicians. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If a human is doing it, you're gonna have bad ones. I say all that to say this. I've always supported law enforcement. I even pursued a career for a while. Went to the academy, finished second in my class in the early 90s. But I was really disappointed. They were super professional, they were super nice. The only out I can give them is I know that in our state, they're becoming less and less serious about crime. Maybe they know something I don't, like they don't have the right to go in there now or something. I don't know. Maybe somebody can educate me. So here's where we're at with the Tahoe. I'm gonna drive it up to my shop. We're gonna fix the door, fix ignition, fix the broken glass, fix the right rear door post that's plastic, vented, broken. We're gonna lift the thing in the air and look all at it, and we're gonna get the thing back in good operating order, and then we are gonna put a device on the steering wheel that I used for the Razor. That's the end of the stolen vehicle story.